Happy New Year! Welcome to Ottawa Experts. I'm your host, Jasmine Rose, and on today's episode, we'll be discussing health and fitness. I know, the holidays are over, and now we're back to the gym, back to the routine, clean eating. Joining me today is Zach Nielsen here from Greco Orleans.
Hi,
Zach,
how are you?
You're the owner there.
Yes, I am.
And you have quite the success story.
Yeah, we're doing really well.
Yeah, you have gone from 205 pounds to a healthy 175 pounds, which is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
You have?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Isn't that awesome?
I was a heavy boy.
Zach, that's so cool.
And then
Thank you, I
also
appreciate
joining me
I
is
didn't know that.
No, yeah.
Kathy Smart.
Hi.
So Kathy is not only an Ottawa expert, you're a national expert. So you're one smart chef, nutritionist, TV personality, author, and North America's gluten-free specialist. You may have seen her on Dr. Oz.
Thank God you introduced me first. It's a hard act to follow.
She's not just smart, she's the multi-award
incredible.
winning Kathy Smart. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I was saying to Jasmine in the green room, I love coming here. I came here early because this is where I started.
You're back
It's
home.
home. This is home
I
for
love
me.
it.
This
Well,
is
thank you
home.
both for being here. So throughout the show, we're going to be displaying our phone number on the screen, and we encourage you to phone in and ask our experts questions. They're well versed and knowledge on these topics, so they're happy to answer your questions. And Zach has kindly brought some Greco passes here, so for those of you who phone in, you'll get to try a week at Greco.
Start the change.
There you go.
Absolutely. It's a great thing.
Great workout.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So Kathy, tell us a little bit about how you got started.
How did I get started?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about living the smart way.
How did I get started? I would say it started when I was 12, actually. I was a celiac as a child, and my parents were missionaries and ministers, and they always taught me that you're here on this earth for a reason. So when I was diagnosed with celiac disease and I changed what I ate and it changed my life, right then I decided I want to change the world and how people eat and view food. So I would actually say it started way back then.
Wow, when you were 12.
Yeah.
And Zach, what about you? What got you into fitness?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, I was a bit heavier when I graduated high school. I was weighing in at about 205 pounds, and I wasn't exactly happy with myself at that time. I think I started to view things a lot more negatively than I had before, and I think it was because I wasn't happy. And so when I made the commitment to change through Greco, which is nice, so that's why I got into the business. Yeah, I was able to lose the weight, and I started to see all aspects of my life started to get a lot better. So through that, I was introduced to Tony, and Tony and I got together, and we both agreed it was a good idea to get involved with the Greco in Orleans, and it's been going well ever since then.
So you both kind of took something negative and brought it into something positive, which is awesome.
That's true.
Yeah.
There we go. We're
Look
very
at that. Similar.
Very
Yeah.
similar.
Oh, you should have seen them chatting earlier. Yeah. You guys could talk for days. if you like.
Yeah, you can.
I could listen to her for days, absolutely.
So Zach, when I think of Greco, I think of the Lean and Fit program. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the Lean and Fit program, what it is it's 8 stations. Each station is 45 seconds long, and it's circuit training. So the nice thing about circuit training is it's your cardio and also your weight training combined. So as Kathy and you yourself probably know, what's important there is that you're building muscle, but also by getting your cardio up, you're keeping your heart rate up. And the higher your heart rate, the more calories you're going to burn. So that's what the Lean and Fit's all about. It's about burning calories. It's about combining that workout 45 minutes instead of being there for like 2 hours sort of thing, which is what it would take you at a gym.
Yeah, and I was telling you that I tried it before the holidays.
Yeah.
And you know what I love? You just show up.
Absolutely.
You need your gym gear, your shoes, and a bottle of water, and you don't have to think about the workout. It's done for you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, the trainers are there to motivate you and to push you, and obviously to make sure that you're doing things properly. I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of gyms is that people kind of don't know what they're doing at a gym, and it's not their fault unless you're an expert in the field. It can be very difficult to make sure your form is right and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have people there to help you. So it's just like having one of the best nutritionists around. It's important that the help you need that sort of thing.
Right.
So it's good to have those people there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys think the hardest thing about health and fitness, do you find it getting started or maintaining it?
Ooh, good question.
That is a good question. I think it depends on the person.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it really does depend on the person.
Absolutely, yeah. Situation as well. It has to be the right time. You have to be committed to making the change, I think. I think a lot of times people, they're half in, half out, right? They're saying, yeah, no, I do want to make the change, but there's always the buts. It depends on actually putting a plan in place and following through on it. I think even if once you've reached your goals, I still think a lot of people do struggle to maintain, and I think the reason is you have to keep the body guessing. You have to do different things to keep your fitness level, keep the excitement of your fitness level going, sort of thing, I would think.
Yep.
Yeah, because sometimes just getting your foot in the door is the hard part, right? Like signing up and getting there, you're like, oh, it's such a big commitment, but it's well worth it.
And I think people wait till they feel like it. And the problem is, for many people, you never will feel like it. It's a decision. You know, it's a decision like you brush your teeth every morning or you brush your teeth before bed every night. You know, when you're really tired, you just don't feel like it sometimes, but you brush your teeth and you get in bed, you're like, I'm so happy I did that.
You're right.
Same thing.
That's true. I never thought of that. Yeah.
Very true.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Very
So,
true.
do you think that people should base their fitness goals around this, the scale?
No.
Absolutely not.
Scales are for fish.
So no, don't factor in the scale. That's not what you should be basing your goals around.
I'll let Zach talk about this.
I mean, absolutely.
We'll get the male version.
Well, for myself, I don't really think numbers do anything justice. When it comes right down to it, what fitness is all about is it's about making you feel a lot better. Of course, you're going to see change, maybe on the scale, maybe when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and whatnot. But what it really is, it's making you healthier, right? And whether you've only lost 3 pounds in 2 months or 30 pounds in 2 months, the fact that you're being active, the fact that you're making those positive changes, it's the long-term effect that's the big difference for me. I think you're going to add 2-3 good years onto your life. And like they always say, if you don't make time for your health, you better make time for illness, right? So if you're not making time to get in shape and to feel better, it's not all about the numbers. A lot of it is it's the long-term effect, I would think.
Well, and the scale is deceptive, right? So we have here before us 5 pounds of muscle,
Which our cameraman loved. He kept playing with.
and we have 5 pounds of fat. So it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
So when you think about it, if you take a garbage bag and you tell someone, I want you to fill it with feathers and give me 5 pounds, that would be a large amount of feathers and a big mass of a garbage bag. Now I want you to take 5 pounds of bricks. It would take that much room. So I tell people that's kind of the comparison. Fat cells just take up so much more room, and muscle cells they're a denser cell. But the problem is they're both 5 pounds. So you can have a woman who's working out and super, super fit. She'll be 140 pounds in a size 4 or a 6. Or you'll have a woman who's not working out and she'll be a size 12, 140 pounds. Scales are for fish.
We actually have somebody on the line, so we're gonna take a phone call.
This is so fun.
So we have somebody on the line. Go ahead. Jean?
Yes?
Oh, Dean. Is it Dean?
No, it's Gene.
Oh, Jean. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So, who's your question for, or is it for the both of our guests?
It's actually for Zach.
Okay, Zach. What's your question?
I'm about sitting at 205 myself, and I was looking to get down to a manageable weight like Zach is at about 180 pounds. I was just wondering, what did he do to do that? Did he limit alcohol consumption or?
I can't hear him.
He was at 205 pounds.
Okay.
And he wants to get down to 160 pounds?
No, okay. And he's saying, what should he do? Should he eliminate alcohol consumption, or what did you do that helped you?
Well, I think definitely alcohol consumption plays a major role, especially when you're at that age. If I don't know how old he is, but any age, I guess. But that's definitely something you have to cut out. Useless calories. A lot of that is what the alcohol is, right? You don't realize that when you're going out and you're having like 2-3 beers, how big a difference that is, right? That's like a full meal. It was what that is, right? And that kind of has definitely an effect on your body for sure.
I just want to remind Jean and mention to all of our callers that if you are going to be phoning in, if you could please turn your television on mute or turn the volume down, then we could probably hear you better in the studio. That'd be greatly appreciated. So thank you for that, Zach. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you for calling, Jean.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jean.
Okay, great. So we were talking about time, and now let's talk about money. Does it have to be expensive to stay fit and healthy? from a food and health perspective? No?
I don't think so, no. I think you can do a workout from anywhere, to be completely honest. I think it's important to go to a fitness facility because of the motivation and they can hold you accountable. But you can definitely, I mean, Kathy, she's on the road all the time, but she stays fit. And I'm sure she has to do that by, you know, whether it's a 10, 15-minute workout just on your own, just, you know, doing core exercises, a lot of body weight exercise. You can find a way to make working out cheap. It can be affordable for sure, I would think.
Absolutely. Same with healthy eating, right? Because when you factor in when people go out to eat and they spend, you know, I actually did a talk for a resource center, people that they have problems with money. And I showed them, I bought a McDonald's meal for $20, and then I showed them how much healthy food you could buy for $20. And I could make 5 meals out of $20 of healthy foods, or $20 of one McDonald's meal. And I'm like,
wow,
you can no longer tell me it's expensive to eat healthy, because it's not. And I think people use that as an excuse.
I agree.
They do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they use that as an excuse.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Kathy, what did you bring for us here today?
Oh my gosh, I brought so many fun things.
I want to talk about these because I thought it was ice cream, but then I looked and it's like instant breakfast. I love that.
It's actually interesting. I was telling your mom, who's amazing. Jasmine's mom is the sweetest person. Hi, Jasmine's mom. She's so nice. So I
love you.
I was telling her in the green room, I'm like, the reason I started this is I'm celiac and I love to eat healthy, but I travel a lot, like Zach was saying, and I was finding when I was traveling, I couldn't find a healthy breakfast. I was like, oh my gosh, there's bagels, there's all this stuff. So I created an instant quinoa breakfast cereal with maca in it and chia seeds. So it's just flaked quinoa. You add your hot milk or your hot water, and then you can add your own pumpkin seeds or whatever you want, and it expands. And maca is a great adrenal support. It's a wonderful adaptogenic root, actually, and you can buy this. We can buy this all across Canada and the U.S. now. So
that's great.
Yeah, I want to pick some of these up.
I think breakfast is the meal that people struggle with the most to find healthy items for.
I wake up and I'm like, what should I eat today?
And it's the most important. It's the most important thing. I look at the body like it's almost like a fireplace. And when you start in the morning, you have to put a couple logs on the fire, and that's what's going to keep it burning throughout the day. You constantly want to add logs throughout the day. But it's that initial breakfast that people struggle with the most. So that's
Is this true
amazing.
that I should be having my carbs in the morning? No, your mom's like super quiet. Okay, no.
Because I don't know what he thinks of that, and I might debate him.
That's okay. We can debate.
I might debate him. Oh boy, I have to get my debate pose on.
That's why I'm here.
I was talking earlier to Zach, and so if you'll notice, there's a big apple and a pear. And I find, like, I've been doing nutrition now for 19 years, and I found a very interesting thing, that one diet does not work for everyone. There's 7 billion people, there's 7 billion different diets. But we can use tools. So certain body types, to answer your question, I find do well having carbohydrates in the morning and a little bit throughout the day, like complex carbohydrates. And some body types do not do well on carbohydrates. They're carbohydrate sensitive. So it's very unique. So it's a hard question to answer because it's so different for everyone. So
and I think what we both discussed earlier was that it's the types of carbs as well.
yes.
We both agree that it's best to avoid breads and pastas and try and stick more to your whole grains, as in a brown rice and a quinoa being the number one, I would say. And that makes a huge difference. I think that having your carbs in the morning, I think it'd be great to have quinoa in the morning, but I don't think it's good to have a couple slices of toast and eggs. I think we want to try and avoid, the more processed it is, the less healthy, the more it takes for the body to break it down and actually use it. So we try and avoid the carbs that are processed.
Okay.
Amen, Zach.
I like that. Thank you.
There
I
we
just
go.
learned something new. We have to cut to break.
Okay.
But lots more when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Ottawa Experts. For those of you just tuning in, I'm joined here with Kathy Smart and Zach Nielsen. So guys, what are the benefits to planning your daily meals?
Woo. I love how we both look
Yeah, I know,
at
you guys look at each other.
right? We're like, okay, who's going to go for this? You can go first.
Are you guys like talking mentally
Yeah.
or amongst each other? Or?
I think meal prep is the most important thing that goes into your nutrition. To be honest with you, you'll find 10 or 15 things that come up in your day that interrupt your day. They interrupt your plan, right? So picking 2 days a week, which is what I always tell my members, pick 2 days a week, and those are your cooking days. Those are when you actually prep all your chicken. That's when you prep your quinoa, your healthy foods. You make a big salad, you put it in the fridge. If you have 3 or 4 days worth of food ready to go, you're gonna eat it. Out of sight, out of mind too. If you have bad foods in the cupboards and you go in and there's nothing prepped, nothing ready that's healthy, you're gonna eat something that isn't healthy. You're gonna eat something that you wanna try and avoid, right? Those foods that stay on the shelves. Foods that are on the shelves are bad for you usually, right? They're containing things that allow them to stay on the shelf. So
the desserts and the sweets, they're like the packaged foods. Yeah.
So prepping your meals to me is the most important thing, and that's how you actually do see results. And I think, yeah, perfect.
She agrees. There
She
you go.
agrees.
She
All right.
Absolutely. Poor Zach, he's scared. He's like, oh my God, what is she going to say? Well, when it comes to weight loss, it's 80% diet, 10% training, 10% your genetics, right? I mean, and there's different ratios that people say, but like Zach was saying, meal prep is so important. Like I would rather someone, I'm really sorry, but skip one workout and do their meal prep if weight loss is their focus. Still do their workouts, but if it means doing that, you can't go work out and then go eat McDonald's.
Right.
I think they go hand in hand. I think when you're eating well, you're more likely to go to the gym because you're feeling good. You realize that you've done 3 or 4
You're in
good
the
meals
zone.
exactly, and you're saying, you know what? All I've done today is feed my body the proper fuel. I want to go use it now. I want to take advantage of that. The people who don't prep and they don't eat well throughout the day, they're the ones who at 5:30 when they're supposed to come to the gym say they're too tired. They don't want it. They don't make it to the gym. What you're eating throughout the day gives you that fuel to go. And also I think vice versa. I think when you're working out, that actually makes you want to eat better. Like after you've done a workout, the last thing I'm thinking is, you know what, I'm going to go eat McDonald's. The first I'm thinking, okay, I need to get some protein, I need to help my body, I need to get the proper carbs, and you're ready to go again. They go hand in hand, but definitely nutrition. I mean, it is 80% of seeing that change. I definitely agree.
Sure.
And I love how in one of your blog posts you talk about having your own formula.
Yes.
So what works for me,
Yep.
you're saying won't work for Zach.
That's right.
We're 2 completely different body types and we shouldn't be eating the same thing.
If till the day I die, I will say that you cannot look at your friend who did the Atkins diet or she did paleo and she just did heavy duty weights and she did fantastic. And you as an A blood type, who is more of an apple shape, who needs to eat more plant-based protein and do more yoga and more circuit training, you can't compare them. And what I think happens is people set themselves up to fail because they think if it worked for that person, it's going to work for me too. So
the comparing to each other definitely is a big thing. Yeah, like what did you eat? We hear that all the time when they come in. They say, well, my friend did this and lost 20 pounds. I'm doing the same thing and I've only lost 3-4 pounds. It's like, well, yeah, because you're not that person. She's exactly right. If you're not that person, you're not going to see the same results. Everybody's body is different. So you can't expect to see the same type of change. You should go see a nutritionist and actually figure out exactly what it is your body's going to require to see change. It makes a huge difference.
Oh, for sure.
Perfect. So we both agree on that.
Oh, absolutely. I have an entire course online on how to live the smart way. And I actually go through the thyroid types, the adrenal types, pituitary, the gonadal, and I teach people these are the tools that you need to know to figure out your own formula. And it is amazing the results.
So helpful.
And it's all because what was happening is I had a private practice in Ottawa for years and years, and with my traveling, people were like, we want more, we want more. So I put everything up online. So it's a Live the Smart Way online course. It's awesome. We have like a private Facebook group, webinars once a month. They have access to me and they get to learn their formula.
We have a Louise on the line
who
has a question. Louise, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Louise. What's your question today?
My question was for Kathy. I wanted to know, do you have a book out that we could go and get our nutritional value that we need for our body types, or is it just on the website?
So the question's for Kathy.
Hi, Louise.
And Louise wants to know if you have a cookbook.
I do.
Book in relation to certain body types.
Wow.
Yeah.
Louise, I think that you just gave me my next business idea.
No kidding.
There you go.
That is a really great question. So thank you, Louise, for calling. I don't have a cookbook based on your own body types, but I do have an entire course online describing the different body types and the recipes that go with it. So that might be something. I have all kinds of video up there. It's amazing. So that might be helpful for you, but that's a really good idea.
And could I ask a question to Zach?
Sure, she'd like to ask Zach a question.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Zach. I was just wondering. I wanted to have a New Year resolution of get more fit. And my question to you was, how do I know that? Let's say that I go on the treadmill for half an hour or do a little bit of weights, that I've done enough.
Have you done
Where
enough?
would be the guideline?
So are you asking if 30 minutes on the treadmill is enough?
Like for your cardio-wise, or is
Okay.
it 45 minutes or an hour? Like, what would be a good guide?
Okay, absolutely. So one myth that I always heard is that you don't start burning calories until like 15 minutes or 20 minutes into being on a treadmill or riding a bike or whatever it may be. And that's definitely not the case. You're burning calories immediately. So I always recommend to do at least a 45-minute workout, right? And that doesn't mean all on the treadmill. Switch it up. Do 2 or 3 different exercises for your cardio if that's what you want to do. Maybe some light weights or a class or whatever it may be. But I would say to start off, a nice 30 minutes. If you're just getting back into it, 30 minutes would be a good guideline. And then try increasing it. Every week, try and bump it up by 5 minutes and maybe hopefully getting to that about hour mark. So set a goal of about 30 minutes to begin and then continue to raise the bar, I guess, every week. But you're burning calories right away. So whether you're going for 5 minutes, if that's all you can do to start, that's great. At least you're doing 5 minutes. You're still burning calories. So start with the 5, keep going. Try and go in intervals of 5 every about week and continue to raise it, I'd say.
Perfect. Thank you. And how do we get those passes to Greco?
How do you get those passes?
That's so cute.
Well, we can definitely help you get those passes,
Yes,
I think.
Rogers will definitely get you those passes, Louise, and you'll definitely get to meet Zach in person.
That'd be great. I can't wait.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful.
Thank you for calling. All right, well, that was fun. So you're saying that you should just slowly increase your cardio level?
I think the biggest problem that people have, and one of the things that when it comes to goal setting, I think people set unrealistic goals for themselves. Like in your first 30 days, let's say they're going to say, I'm going to go to the gym every day for the next 30 days. Well, then you miss one day and you start to miss another and another because you're setting a goal that you can't actually achieve right away, right? Getting to, I mean, I've been working out for years and I still take days off, right? And I still need days off and I still struggle with some of my goals that I set for myself, but they have to be realistic, right? And your short-term goals need to lead you towards your long-term goals. So whether she can only do, 15 or 20 minutes to start, that's great. That's where you start, and then you set yourself a short 2-week goal. Let's say you want to get to 30 minutes or whatever it may be. You set a goal of working out 4 times in the next 2 weeks. If you're just starting out, that's still great. As long as you're getting active and you're setting a short-term goal, you can reach those long-term goals a lot easier.
So let's go back to food a little bit. What are the best foods to eat before and after a workout?
Woo, it depends on the workout.
Okay.
So for myself, I think bananas are the best. To me, before a workout, sorry. To me, bananas are the best. Bananas are high in potassium, and our potassium level is actually lower when we're working out. And we want to keep those levels high, right? So I would recommend eating a banana before a workout. That's my main one. I also think oats are a very...
He's looking at me.
I know.
It's really cute.
Absolutely not. But I think oats are another good option as well. I think one thing that's big for people who are eating pre-workout, they're all taking supplements, a lot more supplements now that we definitely don't need. I think like NO Explode and these types of things.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That's actually not helping the body, right? And it's spiking you for a short period, but then you're just going to crash right after. So it's important to get some good, healthy, light snacks beforehand, so like a banana and maybe like 15, 20 almonds, some good protein, some good fat just before your workout. I would consider those to be your best options.
Yeah, you always want to combine, I tell people, a little bit of complex carbohydrates, a little bit of fat, and a little bit of protein. So that way you're not spiking your blood sugar up too quickly, but you need the energy as well, like the banana, but
Yeah.
you don't want to just have the banana. You want to have some
good
fat.
nuts with it as
Yeah.
well, yeah.
So his almonds and banana, and it tastes good.
I agree.
That's the thing, it has to taste good. People healthy needs to taste good.
Yes, that's a
And
good
what
point.
about after your workout?
I-
We talked about McDonald's, and that's a no-no. We know that.
Yeah.
So
No
what
McDonald's.
you're doing when you're working out, you're actually ripping your muscles, you're tearing your muscles. So that's the time, there's a 30-minute window after a workout that's the most important time to get protein into your body.
The golden hour.
Exactly, there you go. So that's when you absolutely need to have something like a protein shake, a fast absorbing protein. So something like an isolate protein, which is gonna go straight into your muscles, is a good option for trying to make sure that you see the results. If you're not eating something healthy within the first hour, you're taking 2 steps forward with the workout, but you're taking 1 step back by not feeding your body the nutrients that it needs.
But you need to be careful about the protein that you buy.
Absolutely, yes.
There's
is true.
so much garbage out there.
I agree, that
I would
is
like
true.
to tear every one of them down that should not be selling protein powder filled with
Fillers. And then,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. We were talking about that.
What's
before,
that?
yeah.
He's like, I can tell Kathy's getting feisty.
No, that's good because we should be warned, right? We don't know.
The Splendid. So we
Yeah.
were talking earlier.
Tell us.
And we were talking about, oh my gosh, there's some protein powders out there that are.
No.
But what's sad is they're marketed brilliantly.
Absolutely.
Kind of like how chocolate milk is marketed.
Oh, yes. That's a
Oh
big
my
one for
God,
me.
we need to talk about that.
So chocolate milk is not good for you.
No. No, it's not.
It is hilarious.
That's a huge misconception.
Yeah.
That is marketing 101 right there.
Yeah.
Like what they've done there is, I'll have people come in all the time saying, can I have my chocolate milk after? And I'm like, no. What chocolate milk's trying to promote to you is the protein part.
Yeah.
You could just have a nice clean protein powder like a Progressive or a Vega, and that's all your body actually needs.
That's right.
Chocolate milk, milk is starting to fade, right? As the more knowledge we get on it and the more we realize it's not actually helping the body as much as we thought it was. So they're trying to find a way to continue to market it and to continue to sell it. I think it's something that we definitely need to move out of.
Yeah, and to warn people.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, the thing is, it's very convincing. People are paid millions of dollars to make unhealthy food look healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Right there. So